Well, knowledge will forever govern ignorance. This is so true when we have Dr. Karunakar A. Kotegar with us. Dr. Karunakar A. Kotegar, popularly known as Professor KK, is a professor as well as the head in the Department of Computer Application, Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal Academy of Higher Education. He has his PhD in scalable video coding as well as he is a postdoctoral fellow at AIT Ireland. Dr. KK is being associated with IST, International Association for the Exchange of Students for Technical Experience in India, as a president since 2013. He is also the faculty advisor for IST and ISEC in Mahe. In January 2019 annual conference at Cyprus, he is also elected to the board of IST and is currently serving as a secretary there. This is such an honor for us to have you here, sir, who is also, since July 2020, the Government of Karnataka nominated Mangalore University syndicate member for the next 3 years. He is passionate about NEP and has several videos in Kannada and English to give this information to all the stakeholders. Now, we have the keynote address on NEP 2020, Implementation in Mangalore University, Way Forward. Sir, please.
Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Subramania Edapadataya sir, today's chief guest, Professor Y.S. Siddegowda sir, Honorable Registrar Sri K. Raju Mogavira, Professor Jaishankar, my teacher, colleagues, senior professors of various departments, also people who are watching this program online. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope I will try my best to give justice to this topic, approximately 45 minutes. I know anybody's listening span is maximum 20 minutes. If a speaker is really good, 20 minutes is the maximum span. And we are from WhatsApp age. Our 2 to 3 minutes is the best time where we have to make impact, and then only they will catch up with us for next 20 minutes. Friends, NEP, we heard a lot about it from many people from various angles. You ask anybody, everybody knows almost now, in especially teaching fraternity, what is NEP. So today, Bharatiya Shikshana Mandal along with Niti Ayog, the plan is the main stakeholder of education system is teacher. How far we have awareness, what amount of orientation we need, what are the challenges, and in what way we can respond to these challenges. A beautifully framed title and the theme by Bharatiya Shikshana Mandal and Niti Ayog. I will directly get into my topic because I don't want to discuss more about NEP as a document. Sir, we have already made Kannada video from this university, and we have released that video so that even though the English language used in NEP 2020 is little on harder side, I felt we have to convert it in Kannada so that we can reach more people in our mother tongue. So that has yielded good result. So let us not talk too much about what is it. So very direct question from my side is how exactly we can incorporate, implement in Mangalore University and its affiliated colleges. Please note there are 1,000 universities 45,000 colleges, 5,000 plus engineering colleges, around 600 plus medical colleges, 300 plus dental colleges, and so on and so forth. That is the size of education space of our country. Obviously, it is a humongous task. It's not easy. It is not at all easy. Moreover, we are using a system which was established in 1835, and we have done facelifting and we are following it. Major change we have not done, and we have not connected to our root. When I said our root, some people, I know Professor Edipatha sir was also there on the stage, and that day someone asked me, why are you talking about the history? Because we are preparing our next generation for 21st century. Clear opinion is historical idea of education in India, we have deviated from it too much. What was that? It was a multidisciplinary education. Multidisciplinary education, that we need to remember. Rather, we have now catering to a specific kind of education. For example, we have named our degree Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Engineering. People are expert in that domain without knowing what is happening in the other domain. So, this policy speaks about wider idea of every field, and then when he goes to certain level, he can develop his own skill set in the domain of his interest. But at least till the undergraduate level, a multidisciplinary foundation, which is very important. So that is why we are saying that it is connecting to the root. The vision of the policy: build a global best education system rooted in Indian ethos, transforming India into global knowledge power. That means India has to be Vishwaguru again in terms of decimating, creating knowledge. That is the goal of this policy. Now some people may ask, so what we have done for past 7 decades after independence, don't you think we are doing the same thing? Yes, we are saying it on paper. On ground, there is a difference, which we have to take it to the next level and build on that. That is why the NAP is a major change in the education space. That is what Professor said. It's a paradigm shift. Unfortunately, many of us as a teacher, we have failed to understand the core of this policy. We are comparing this with the previous 2 policy, or we are comparing sometimes with US, UK, Europe, Australia. We are unique as an Indian. Our learning capabilities are different, and our contributing is different. Our culture is different. So when you are comparing, if the parameters are different and we start comparing, it is a challenging task. Having said that, whenever I was interacting with someone, a well-known professors in the universities, the first thing what they raise is, do you know what are the challenges we are facing? Majority of us, yes, the policy may be very good. Do you know what is the ground reality? What is the ground reality? 2/3 of the people who are involved in teaching are guest faculty. Especially in higher education space I am talking. 2/3 of the teachers, guest faculty. Whose problem it is? It's a problem of the system, not the problem of a teacher. We have to recruit people to implement, to realize this. Having said that, whether listing out all the challenges is a duty of a teacher? No. Whether I am a guest faculty, whether I am working on hours basis, whether I am a UGC salary person, it is immaterial to students. Students are there to learn, we are there to teach. So that is why it is a moral responsibility of every teacher. When I am teaching student, I have to see my son, my daughter, my brother, my sister in the students. Forget everything. I understand the problem. We are from this domain. No doubt about it. Because my experience of working in a private university for past 20 to 23 years, and also international experience, traveled more than 30 countries, stayed there, interacted with many foreign students and professors. Please remember that India is a great country in the eyes of foreigners. Especially, we may not like it, but we do have a lot of respect outside India. We have to bring back our glory, and that is possible by changing only education. There is no other way. Whatever you list, people say that, okay, there is this problem, every scam, everything you list. Who is responsible? People will say politicians are responsible, bureaucrats are responsible. Who is responsible? I basically say that our education system is responsible. Because, as Professor already mentioned, ECCE, Early Childhood Care and Education, which is a foundation for every Indian. What level of attention we are giving to that kids. Around 80 to 85% of Indian kids are going to school only at the age of 6. As per the research of Harvard, which says that up to 8 years of age, 85% of the brain development is over. Once the brain development is over, remaining 15% is left. We may not be able to do much. Therefore, in this policy, ECCE, Early Childhood Care and Education, has given more importance. Now, I am not going to talk more about school education. Let's concentrate what we expect a graduate to be. For example, I am teaching in my class and my student is going to be a graduate. What is the outcome I am expecting from that student? We are teaching certain things which are there in the syllabus. We are asking questions, whatever we taught. Our question papers are such that if you prepare previous 2 to 3 years question paper, your fourth one you can automatically make. That means a student can make question paper for himself. As a professors, we need not. Please ask yourself, yes or no. That is the fact. That means what kind of evaluation we are doing. Then the next one comes copying in the examination. I spoke about this in front of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Accreditation. Copying. Copying started at the age of, tell me now, when examination started, copying started. Yes or no? Whenever examination started, copying started. Can I have a cup of water, yes, madam?
Copying starts even before that. The child is left. The child imitates and learns language.
Yeah, madam, you are trying to give a literature meaning of copying. I am not a great. I understand. I am not a. My complete study, whatever I talk, I first think in Kannada and then convert it into English. That is how the system is developed. I am talking about copying in examination. No, it's okay. See, please try to understand why students copy. That is the basic reason what teacher has to understand. According to me, first examination of a child, maybe in the first standard, maybe in LKG, UKG, now even Montessori, they do, examination. Okay. When we start doing it, they are sincere. But what we do, we will keep a distance, 6 feet distance, social distancing in examination. Then we start invigilating. That is how we treat first time. What does it imply? I don't trust you. That is how it implies. I don't trust you. On the first examination of a student, I am trying to say, that is when people start, oh, this is how examination works. Why we are kept apart? Because we are not supposed to discuss. That is how it starts. But in real time, in real life, how we are solving the challenges of the life problem? We are discussing. We are deliberating. Yes or no? We are trying to find a solution together. But in examination, how we are doing? We are not copying. If you copy, why they copy? Now the concept is what? Concept is open book test. Hope all of you are aware. Open book test. What does it mean? In real life, nobody will give you a 3 hours of question paper and you are going to write it. It's a real life challenge. Use any resource, whatever you want. Try to find solution for this problem. There is no copying aspect. But this copying starts at first standard or second standard. The mentality, how it grows. After some years, even though they want to write on their own, if teachers are not there, even intelligent of the intelligent student will copy. Am I right, sir? Yes or no? What happened was, once I did experiment in my post-graduation classes, I asked, this is the question paper, I will give it to you and I will go out. People have said, how come you can go out? That is the question. Why? It's a post-graduation class I am talking. I said, I will go out, show your sincerity and integrity, you write. They said, no sir, you don't go out. I asked the intelligent top, why, what is your problem? They said, no, you can't go out sir, you don't go out. Why? This is the question. Even though it was against my university rule, I am not supposed to go out. Okay, but what happened? The mentality is, if there is nobody observing, there is a chance that I am going to copy. That is how we have developed our students. That is the basic problem. Now, this is the system. Okay, we started invigilating. They tried their best to copy. It is just a Tom and Jerry game. And that Tom and Jerry game continued. They graduate and they acquire certain positions in the society now. They are the citizens of this great country. What they do? If nobody is observing, they will do something what they are not supposed to do. That is what is happening. You see any scamster, they are the high qualified people. You look at their qualification. I don't say education. You look at their qualification. Why? That is why I say that for this country, whether you consider a farmer or a labor, a true farmer I am telling, a true farmer or a labor, they have not created any problem for this country. They are contributing to the economy, they are contributing their best, they follow the ethics and they have fear of God at least. God is watching. But as qualified, we know that God is also not there. It's a bluff. So that is where the problem starts. That is why we need to connect ourselves to ethos of India. Having said that, let me come back. How exactly we can implement it? I request all of you not to look into the issues. These issues we need to solve. So I request all of you to log out from your system. What kind of log out? Because we are all the product of this education system. Whatever we think, whatever we do, most of the time we do what we learn. Maybe little modification with respect to time, but no major modifications. But this policy speaks about paradigm shift. We need to think laterally, then only we can find some solution for this issue of education in this country. The first one, what I am trying to talk from the implementation point of view, is large multidisciplinary university. Meru. Meru is a multidisciplinary education and research universities. That is the idea. Why it is required? It is required because see, what happened was, we earlier it was bigger universities. We divided and we created so many universities. Even it happened in Karnataka also now. Whether it is wrong, it is not wrong. Then why again we are talking about multidisciplinary university? Under, as Professor already said, university means universal education should be available under one roof. Universal education, what policy speaks is about 64 class, 64 kalegalu, what used to be part of our education system. A student who is in the ashram of Guru or wherever they go, they used to learn everything, including science and technology, ethics, and also, about farming, about serving, about moral things, everything they used to write, which is part of the education. That kind of education is missing. We are more into science, maths. Science, maths. So we are all human beings. We need humanities. We need social science. But a science student can't study humanities now in this system. That is the problem. That's why we need multidisciplinary universities. Here, my suggestion to Professor Edeparataya and his team, because we have around 208 or 211 colleges under these universities, around 85,000 students are studying in this university, and around 2,400, as per my knowledge, teachers are part of this system. What we can do as a university, what changes we can do. Please note whether this policy you accept, you reject. As a policy, you have every right to do that. But as a teacher, education's important part, the core part of education is intellectual debate and discussions. Whatever you accept or reject, you have to be very clear that I am accepting for this reason, I am rejecting for this reason. As a policy I accept, but this particular point I don't agree. Every one of us have right to debate on it. But fortunately or unfortunately, no debates happen. Because I am interacting with most of the teachers, what I am learning out of my interaction is people are not read or understood the policy. Awareness is one thing which is very important. What is it we are talking? And you should have a broader aerial view of education system of a country and also some knowledge of different country. Too much of knowing about other country will confuse us. We need not. But what kind of education we need is a multidisciplinary education. So my first suggestion is identify new disciplines to be added to this university. Second one, multidisciplinary UG program, especially undergraduate program, has to be broad-based. Don't compartmentalize them. Compartmentalize means arts, commerce, science. We have divided too much now. And the respect also, in 10th standard, if somebody is getting 95%, what is your suggestion? As a teacher, when they approach you, what is your suggestion? You ask yourself, what is your suggestion? You will say that, don't think anything, go and join PCMB. This is what we advise as a teacher. If anybody have advised something else, that is outliers. In data analytics, we talk about outliers. That means it is not normal. It is away from the standard deviation. Why? Why 95? That child is interested in arts, but we never asked what's your interest. And we never identify at early age what is the ability of that child. Everybody we want engineers and doctors. That is what is shown in Three Idiot movie, sir. Okay, Three Idiot movie is the depiction of that. We have to go away from it. What is that we need to do as a university? In the undergraduate program, we need to give more and more and more options to students. Don't compartmentalize. Even the 10th and 12th compartmentalize will go. I am not going to talk about the school education part up to 12th. But when they come to undergraduate program, the Mangalore University undergraduate program should allow, for example, a BSc student wants to study economics. The flexibility should be there, sir. That is what we want. If he wants to study philosophy, there should be a chance. How we can do that? Whether these models are there in India? Yes. There are models in this India. One of the easiest way, what I learned, is open elective. What do you mean by open elective? Open elective is an elective, he can take it, which is not part of his domain. You accept credit from that. Okay, do you have that course here? Students may want to learn music. BSc students wants to learn one subject which is music. That is his passion. He loves. But along with that, he wants science. Do we have that in the current system? We don't. Can we do it? Yes. Is it tough? No. It is not tough. Only thing is, we have to think from laterally. We should not think from our own conventional mindset. My guru taught me this, I am going to teach you this. You listen, I will preach. Those days are gone. As professor has already said, earlier teacher was a person who is going to pass information. Now teacher is not a person who can pass information because that role is taken by Google. Google will do better things. If I am capable of asking a question, any domain, if I am capable of asking a question, That means there is an answer ready. Earlier, you used to go to library, you used to go to teacher and ask about your question, and then he will answer. But now Google has built that intelligence, artificial intelligence they have used. It is you who is going to frame the question. Answers are gone now because answers are available. Do we have meaningful question? We don't have. Do we teach in our classrooms to ask meaningful question? Because we are busy in answering them. One whose mind questions are the intelligent mind, not the mind which answers the question. Are we creating students of that kind? No. Undergraduate student should think from that angle. How many times we are happily encouraging our students to challenge us in the class? How many times? At the end of the day, we say that you are wrong, I am right as a teacher. Most of us, we do that. Are we really encouraging students in the class to ask question? No. If you ask question, you are targeted tomorrow. Ask your students, they will give the answer. Why? Why that intellectual debate is not going to happen in the classroom in India? Why we have to follow the conventional mode? In Mangalore University, for example, you take any postgraduate program, let give the topic to the students. Let him find out the questions. As a teacher, I will sit and try to answer. If I don't know the answer, I will come tomorrow and I will answer you. Why we have to show that, I know everything? Let us involve in process of learning. That in the classroom, that is a real learning. Can we do that? That is what is a part of this. So I suggest add electives, open electives, allow students to learn from online modules which are available, because you can directly hear from horse mouth. There are fantastic teachers who are teaching and it is available online, sir. We have to allow our students at least 1/3 of the subject they have to learn from online mode, because they can learn on their own pace, not our 45 minutes of 1 hour of class. Let them learn whenever they want. There are fast learners, there are medium learners, there are slow learners. Let them learn on their own pace. Can we do that? Is it so tough? No. Why we are bothered about our workload? Most of us as a teacher, what we think is, what is my workload? Can you just stop that sharing? Not required. I will not go by, because as a teacher, extempore is better. I have points here. Fine. As a teacher, why we look at the number of hours? We should stop that. And then allow students to learn on their own. Be a facilitator, be a mentor, don't be a preacher, as Professor already said. Don't be a preacher. That is what is the method we need to adopt. So this policy speaks about 3 things. One is curriculum, second one is pedagogy, the third one is evaluation system. For example, in Mangalore University, we have 211 colleges. Conducting examination is a humongous task here. Why? Because we have centralized everything. Why we have centralized? We don't have trust. On whom? Teachers. See, I said about copying. Copying will not stop there. What happens in colleges, for example? We start invigilating. Correct, na? University will send the squad also. Why university is sending the squad? Why? Because they don't have confidence on teachers and colleges. What kind of education or moral we are teaching or preaching? That is where we are going wrong, friends. That is where we are. We have to trust one another. We have to build that trust. Unfortunately, whatever I am talking, sometimes some people may feel that, sir, this is only theory. It will not happen in India. Why? Because we are used to it. We like it. Please think differently. Whether it is possible, it is possible. As I said, I have good international experience and exposure. I have taught and I have evaluated students from foreign countries. I know that, for example, my experience with France, Germany, and some Malaysian students, even though you give the question paper and go out, they will not copy. Can we expect that? Can we expect that from Indian students? When it happens, that is the day of NEP complete implementation. Please note, as a teacher, If my student is writing exam on his own, even though I am not doing invigilation, that is the day when we can say that this policy is implemented fully. Can we do that? Is it possible? It is possible. As a teacher, we have to build that in the classroom. And what we need to do? We need to change mode of evaluation. This mode of evaluation is the basic problem, I said, you give me 3 question paper, 4th question paper students will give. That is why they copy. You tell them, take this question paper, go home tomorrow and get me the answer. Can we set question paper of that kind? This is what is done in US. This is what happens in US. But here what we do, for example, I will give you one more, jokes about copying. In US, you are not supposed to copy anybody's textbook. In India, what we do? In the library, we have a Xerox machine. You think, in library, we have a Xerox machine. Officially, we copy them and give. You will be sued if you do that in our Indian students. They go there and they copy and then they are caught. And one of, my student did copying in US. What they did, they banned the student from my university. See the action. Action is simple. No more student from this university. I don't want to take the name of the top university. Why? For him, it is as usual business. Exam means copy and write. So that is the problem. The third one, faculty and institution autonomy. As a Mangalore University, can we extend autonomy to our teachers? What level of autonomy we can give? Do we trust our teachers? We have doubt. Why we have doubt? You go back, to the root, you will understand why we have doubt. The doubt starts from the time when we recruited them. How we recruited them, the process of recruitment, everything is doubtful, and that is the issue. But this policy speaks about autonomy for faculty and institution. Unless and until we give autonomy to the teachers, if a teacher is really, really good and he wants to do some new experiment with his student group, we don't have that flexibility. And this particular policy speaks about autonomy in the classroom. Allow him to teach whatever he wants. Whatever he wants means what? This policy is a framework. Our syllabus should be framework. Don't give all the details. What we are doing in our syllabus now? We are giving, this is the textbook, these are the chapters, these are the pages also we give in the syllabus. That we should go away. You say that this is what is the learning outcome of this subject. This is the subject, this is the learning outcome. You teach your student in any way, but outcome should be this. Outcome should match. Evaluation should be based on the outcome, not based on what he writes. So that is the actual meaning of outcome-based education. Again, OBE, we are all following, we have borrowed it. But how we borrowed it? Piecewise manner, not in complete, as a whole. Borrowed it. And again, what we are doing? Indianizing outcome-based education. Indianizing outcome-based education is what? Whatever outcome-based education you speak, first you have to define that this is what is going to be, and then come down. In each subject, these are the course objective, these are the program objective, this is the program educational objectives. We define everything for the sake of showing that it is OBE. We are not following it in the classroom. This policy speaks that if you are evaluating a student, you have to evaluate outcome. Define the outcome and check. That is why in primary education, they have defined 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. What does it imply? After 5 years, check what is the outcome. Don't give examination. Check your outcome. How to check the outcome if you don't do examination? We are all our conventional mindset. You have to write a test, I have to evaluate, somebody will give me scheme, then only I will say that you have acquired that skill. That is not OBE. OBE speaks that give something on hand. Can he do that? For example, let us assume that here a student is there, a MCOM student, whether he can do, accounting of a particular firm and show it to us. How many of our MCOM students actually do accounting? Practically, we don't do that. Experiential learning, it is only in the paper, which is core part of outcome-based education. Outcome needs to be checked based on the experience. We are not doing that. This is what is the core of that. And then comes curriculum revamping. It is one of the easiest thing. Every time we update the curriculum, what is that we are updating? We are updating the new textbook. We have never updated the syllabus, what exactly is required for today's world. That is why they are saying that 80% of our graduates are unemployable. Unemployable. Who are saying this? Industry people. Why they say that? Because what they want, we don't know. What we are doing, they don't know. There is no collaboration happening between industry and the academia. When I am talking about industry anywhere, it may be a social science or any degree, he is going to work somewhere. What is required in that domain, we have to understand that. For the sake of convenience, we are going to put 1 or 2 or 3 people from industry. So and so is in my panel. How fruitfully we are implementing it? We are not doing that. It is all there in the paper even today. Unfortunately, we have not executed it to the spirit. Once we start as a teacher that no, I am going to do like this. So Professor has mentioned in his laboratory how he can do that. But what is required in the industry? Whether my students can go and work in industry for 3 months before they graduate, that flexibility has to be given in the university. What we call as internship, what kind of internship? You give one certificate, your internship is over. In India, everything works by paper. What is that? Certificate. Finally also what we give? Certificate. Whether that skill is acquired or not, whether he is capable or not. A BCom student after graduation, whether he can write an application to bank saying that I want a DD. Can he fill that application form? To take out DD, you ask your BCom students, how many are capable of doing that? Why? Why they can't do it? They know everything, you put it, they will say this, that, everything they will say.
No,
But
there is no need for DD, that's why everything is a transaction, online transaction.
okay, I am not going to counter you here because it takes one more dimension. I hope you understood what I am trying to say. As a commerce professor, you countered me. I agree with you. Thank you. And also, the National Research Foundation. Curriculum updation is one thing I request our Vice Chancellor to take it very seriously. We have Board of Studies. Now I am closely observing Mangalore University as a syndicate member. From outside I was observing. Now I am observing inside. Each agenda point I have something to say and something to contribute, something to fight and argue. We fight, with Vice Chancellor. As a syndicate member, it is my right. As a president of the syndicate, he is going to say something. We fight. We fight for the sake of doing something better. Some DX, can I make a difference as a syndicate member? If I can't, I have to quit. If as a syndicate member, if I cannot do any change, then why I am sitting and decorating that chair? I am a professor. Let me do my job. So we fight every day in the syndicate. And that syndicate goes up to 7:30 now. Why? The fighting is to do something better. Whatever conventionally followed, let us deviate from it. Do it something different. Why? Because we have that. We have that right given by the government that you can do as a university whatever you want. Nobody will dictate university to do something. That is the advantage of universities. Because you are not bothered. Don't worry about UGC. Don't worry about NAC. Because NAC and UGC says what is minimum to be done, not maximum. There is no limit. Don't do this above this. We'll never say don't go below this. I hope you understood. We should not work for below. NAC is the lowermost grade. What says you have to do this. No, we are not talking about that. Whatever I am doing, NAC, UGC, everything will be automatically taken care. That is what Mangalore University has to do it. I am talking only from the point of implementation. Whether it is difficult, it is little difficult unless and until we log out from our conventional mindset. Please remember, because we are in this system for past so many years, anything else looks wrong to us. But when you start intellectually debating the things, something else will come out. That is the power of education. That is the flexibility given by the government to the universities. Are we using that flexibility in framing the syllabus? We have to do that. That is the first step what is to be done. And university need not wait for any task force recommendation. University has its right to do it. You need not worry about that. Only thing is, can I do something different? As a teacher, what I want in this subject to be taught. How many of us, we strictly follow the syllabus, that too at the minimum level, not the maximum. What I can add extra, we never think. And we want our students to think only from this. That is why even in any bookstore in India, you go, sir, you will get question paper and answers ready. What is that? Called as guide. Guide. You name the subject, they will give the guide. You tell, I want this book, they will give the Xerox copy of the book, whole book. That is how we started copying everything. That has to be stopped. Guide. Can we do something? Now people will say, you are telling something which is impossible in India. That is what happened exactly 20 years back. I quoted this in one of the program. The simplest reason is, please rewind. 20 years back, what happened was, bank started getting computerized. Every nationalized bank, what happened? Every employee, you ask any clerk or any officer, they gave all bad words to computers. For their mistake, they blamed computer, just like politicians. जो भी होती गलती है तो कंप्यूटर की वजह से होती है, मेरे वजह से नहीं. Computer will never do any mistake. Being a professor of computer, I am telling, we are making mistake. Okay, what happened in computerization? Everybody blamed bank. Exactly 20 years back. So many people, got into stress and they took voluntary retirement from the job, and they all retired. Today you go to any bank, what is the situation you can see? Every bank is computerized. We are talking about the policy which is planned for next 20 years, my dear friends. We are talking about a policy which will take its complete implementation, and review happens in 2040. Review happens in 2040, next review. That is the plan. Which government has brought this policy? As an opposite government, I am going to oppose this. Let all these debates and discussion happen in parliament. In the university, as a teacher, let us go into it, deeply discuss each and every aspect, talk about pros and cons. Whatever you see it is wrong, don't implement. Whatever you feel it is right as a teacher, try your best to implement in your own way. As a university, you can do many things. When it comes to National Research Foundation, NRF, the National Research Foundation, it is in line with National Science Foundation of US, where they talk about funding for science, and here funding for every educational field and research. Beautifully framed NRF, but a government or a committee can frame the policy. Policy is a framework. Unless and until, as a teacher, I don't buy this, nobody can implement it. Nobody can implement it. And next one is light but tight regulation. When we talk about light but tight, what happens? Even recently, Professor Kishore Naik was successfully completed NAC visit in peer review visit. What happened? Most of the documents are uploaded, data are already uploaded. So the less weightage is given for the visit. It is a physical visit. In future, NAC spelling is also different. It is now only NAC. Okay, there is a new one, NEP, what it says. There is no physical visit. There is no physical visit. Everything should be available online, in the portal, as well as in your website. Every citizen will take part, every student will take part, and they will say that if something is wrong here, intimate the agency and take the necessary action. Why? Face-to-face interaction creates lot of problems. If they really want to see the facility, you can geotag that and then show the video that this particular facility is available in this university. With that geotag, you can easily find out. And every citizen of the country can put his comments saying that this facility, whatever is shown in this university, is not actually available. Then automatically they will act. So face-to-face interaction is also going on. Light in that sense. Tight means you will not be left alone. And then comes about the increased access. Most of the time we talk, unemployed. When we talk about unemployed, imagine 26% is the GER now. For the country I am talking. I am not talking about this region. This region has good number. 26% is the GER, gross enrollment ratio. In that age group, how many are attending college? 18 years to 21 years. It is 26%. But the policy says by 2035, it should reach 50%. Now, what is the basic question you start thinking? Now itself is the unemployment rate is very high. When 50% of the people acquire higher education, what will happen? If you double this, that is also going to double. Please don't apply that mathematical formula here. The reason of higher education is not only for gainful employment. It is not only for gainful employment. Gainful employment is the byproduct of education. Unfortunately, what we are doing, we are matching our education directly to our job. It's a byproduct. We have to learn this because I want to acquire higher knowledge. Wherever there is a high gross enrollment ratio in higher education, that country is the richest country. Because all are well educated, not only with just qualified. So that is the purpose. But if every graduate, I want employment, then what you are going to do to the country? It is not only for the purpose of employment. That is what this says. And there are three kinds of universities, this policy says. And Mangalore University should be a research intensive university. There is no doubt. And one more doubt, what people are having is, approximately there are 45,000 colleges now. From 45,000 colleges, this policy speaks, it should become 15,000 colleges. See, if you put this number, it becomes really crazy. The reason is, at one point I am saying that GER should go from 26 to 50%, whereas the number of colleges from 45,000, it should become 15,000. I hope you are getting my point, right? The reason is, a university should accommodate more students, and then there are three kinds of universities. One is research, other one is teaching university, the third one is degree granting colleges. Somebody have asked me, somebody have, intellectual discussion, part of that. They said that, do you think every Tom, Dick and Harry can award a degree? Why not? Why not? If he acquires that level. See, same thing happened when we started giving, autonomy to certain colleges. You know that now there are so many colleges which are autonomous in nature. Please go and check how they are performing. I am not talking about everybody because our regulation system has a problem. But few colleges, once they got autonomous, then you should see the progress of that college or institution. They have done wonders. Not everybody, please don't misinterpret my data. They have done wonders. Why? Because they are allowed to do what they have planned to do for so many years. They have experimented new things and they did it. There are fantastic private colleges. They have done good things in this country. But I am not talking about every college whose major interest is commercialization of education. I am against it. But please note, around 60% of the colleges are private colleges in this country. And they are contributing to that. But at the same time, this policy speaks about don't commercialize. In India, education is not for profit. And also, this policy speaks about regulation of fees in the colleges. Those facilities are there. And when we talk about giving autonomy to the college to give a degree, it is not going to happen tomorrow. It is next 20 years. If I am teaching, if you are comparing US, if I am teaching, I am the person who is going to test you. Nobody will tell me how to test. As a professor, it's my duty to test you. And also I say that, I confer that I am going to award this degree to you. That is the right. What's happening now? We have thousands of affiliated colleges. In India, I am talking, one university will have more than 1,000 colleges under it. What that university can do except examination? Only examination. It starts from the day one And till the end, it's all preparation, awarding degree and those things only. But the university's job is not that. University job is knowledge creation, knowledge dissemination. That should happen. That is what this particular policy speaks about. And the next question what comes is, a single stream higher education institution will be phased off. For example, to understand in a simple way, engineering college will not be just engineering college henceforth. Medical college will not be just medical college. Mangalore University can start engineering courses. I am not talking about B.Tech. Please remember that. This B.Tech will vanish over a period of time. Everything is a bachelor degree. Everything is a bachelor degree. He can earn credits from various courses, either through classroom or through experiential learning or through online mode or through foreign education. One semester he can go abroad, he can earn some credit and he can come back. Those things, for example, accepting credit, why can't we do it? It is very easy. Mangalore University need not worry about anything. It will say that in each semester, one course, to begin with, one course. There are 5-6 courses. One course, allow them to take it from online. If you are not confident about the evaluation, make it audit course. What do you mean by audit course? You all know that. Audit course is just because completed or not completed. That's all. Completed or not completed. You accept that. Why you are accepting it? Because you are allowing students to learn what he wants to learn. Obviously, don't say that he is A grade, B grade, C grade. Don't worry about that. One subject. Remaining 4, you do it. Can we do that? Is it so tough? It can be easily done. These are simple measures. As it is, as a university, it can do it. So I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to implement NAP good practices. Whichever your faculty have agreed for, no objection, implement it immediately. Be first in India to show that we have done this, which is part of NAP within next 1 year. Next 3 years, we are going to do that. Next 5 years, next 10 years, that we have to do. As a Mangalore University, there are 211 colleges. As a university has to decide. At least 10% of my colleges will go independent. We are worried now. As an administrator, we are worried because we want more and more colleges. But this policy speaks exactly opposite. You should not have more affiliated colleges. That is what is the base of this. We need to think. Can we identify in Mangalore University that these are the colleges whom we are going to help? Because that is one of the responsibility of the university to phase out certain colleges to achieve that degree granting colleges. Which are those colleges you are going to select? Plan it. If you have confidence in some good colleges, you mentor them for next 5 years. Tell them that within next 5 years, as per NAP, you should come out as independent degree granting colleges. It is only for undergraduate program. Degree granting is only for undergraduate program. The beauty of this policy is that. And when it comes to talking about flexibility, everybody knows now. It is a 3-year degree plus 1 year, master degree, 2 year. Everybody knows about it. How we can do this implementation in Mangalore University? It's a 3-year degree. Post-graduation. See, one more thing, what is the issue in our education currently? We start teaching from first standard. Till they go to PhD, we teach in the classrooms. Yes or no? Number of hours also. You check each subject, how many hours. Every hour, teacher is coming here and he is teaching. Please reduce the number of lecture hours. Number of lecture hours need to be reduced. What does it imply? You have workload. Please don't worry about workload. The issue is, it should not be lecture. It should be discussion-based classrooms. More and more discussion, debates, those things should happen in the classroom. The classroom structure we need to change. The way how we allow students to sit and discuss, that makes the difference. That is part of this system. After 1 year, you can go out, get a certificate and go out and then come back and join again. That is the beauty. In India, what happens? For example, you compare again because we are fascinated by US education. Let us compare. When you compare UG education in US, there 120 credits they have to earn. Irrespective of the university, 120 credit they are going to earn. And that 120 credit, whenever they are earning, no, they can earn in any number of years. Please note, that is the beauty. Any number of years. Why? Because after 18, parents are not the sponsors in US. In general, I am not talking about NRIs. Indian parents, again, they do the same thing. They started opening tuition classes in US also. I am serious. Tuition classes, Indian community started in US also. For everything, there is a class started. That is only by Indian community and Chinese community. Okay? But you imagine, we carry our baggage with us. Right? So, in US, 120 credit, they can earn in 10 years. They can earn in 3 years. They can earn in 4 years. There are fast learners. There are slow learners. Do we have any mechanism called as slow learners here? No. We will categorize. You are good, you are average, you are bad, you are fail. Who are we to decide that you are fail? You see the output. Whenever we see our own graduate, after so many years when we are meeting them, he will say that I am CEO of so and so company. When I go back to my memory lane, I start thinking how many marks I gave it to you. Out of 20 marks, he was not able to get 5 marks in my test. But today he is employed 2,000 people in his company. Who is wrong? Whether I am wrong or he is wrong. The whole mechanism goes wrong because I am failed to identify the intelligence what that guy had because of my examination system. If you ask everybody to, that is why there is a famous picture. You talk about education system issues, in Google, one picture you will get. Correct? So there are several different kinds of animals, fish, cheetah, everything, and you are conducting one examination, climbing the tree. Have you seen that picture? It's a beautiful picture. That completely depicts our education system. I cannot say that you are good, you are bad, you are worst. Who am I to say that? My evaluation has to change. That is what is the crux of this policy. That is why people have not understood this policy and they started questioning this. We have to understand that every child is born intelligent. There is a statement, every child is born intelligent, education ruined me. Okay, this is what is the slogan written on one of the students' t-shirt. It was written. I asked him, you are a PG student, how come you are dare enough to write that statement and sit in front of me in my class? He said, what is wrong in it? What is wrong in it? I am born intelligent, education ruined me, was the keyword on his slides. I said, can you read it? He said, yes, I can read it. Then how do you justify that? He said, that is a literacy. Okay, and then I asked, can you interpret it? Yes, I can interpret it. Now you tell me how you say that education ruined you. When you can interpret certain things psychologically properly, then obviously you are educated. Then he said, sir, I have understood now. From tomorrow onwards, I will not wear this t-shirt. This is the statement. It is not education which will ruin anybody. It is a qualification which will ruin. Having said that, there are several things as a part of syndicate of this prestigious university. We are going to take this NAP implementation to the next level under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Edipedithaiji. And I am confident that he will, before he completes his tenure as a Vice Chancellor, he will put a blueprint for NAP implementation in this university. And we are going to be involved in every minute discussion of this and make this public university a great university, a model university. And I request each one of us as a teacher, please try to read this policy. I am of the opinion that this workshop should go at least 3 days. It is not 1 hour or half an hour discussion. Nobody will understand what it is. We need 3 days of rigorous workshop to make understand. And I request Vice Chancellor to make a strong team here in Mangalore University. Fantastic teachers are there in this university. I request, please make at least 10 or 15 members core team of implementation. Vice Chancellor has already made a team among the syndicate members, but the syndicate members are not full-time employees of this university. Everybody have different, job or role. They cannot come daily. But I request, sir, you please form a core team which will give you a monthly report of its plan and implementation. Unless and until who is sitting at the helm of the affairs takes this matter seriously, implementation is impossible. But having said that, the best practices of this policy we can implement in day-to-day our life in our classrooms, along with the teachers and students. We have to discuss best part of it. I'm sure there are fantastic things what we can adopt over a period of time, and this education space will change in the next 20 years. A different country we can see, and we can say that the Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. And also, I don't have any doubt that if you make education space really strong, really strong, nobody can stop us, India, from becoming world guru. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope all of us, we can do a bit contribution to education space and take our job seriously. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for this beautiful keynote address, a most meaningful one, which shows implementation of NEP in Mangalore University way forward. Thank you, sir, for your selfless giving as a teacher, and thank you for taking us forward as well as walking with us in this journey. Well, it is said the capacity to learn is a gift, ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is a choice. And this is a perfect blend that we saw, and as a teacher, we have this capacity, ability, and willingness definitely shall shine more from today. Well, friends, academicians, can we give a very big round of applause for this really beautiful keynote address? Sir, we remain grateful. Well, leaders become great not because of their power, but because they have the ability to empower others. We have our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.S. Yadapadithaya, the 9th Vice Chancellor of this Mangalore University, who definitely empowers others. He is a first rank holder in MCOM, his PhD in Consumer Behavior, postdoctoral fellow also, and he is currently the member of the Committee of State Universities for drafting Uniform Calendar of Academic Events, as also an appointed member for the Committee to Revamp Evaluation System in Higher Education in the state, both appointed by Karnataka State Higher Education Council, Government of Karnataka. He is also the Board of Management of Karnataka State Open University. A teacher par excellence, a trainer beyond, a consultant, and definitely a person who has so many awards. The latest one, Dr. R. Sudarshan Memorial Lifetime Achievement Award. A big round of applause. We now have the presidential remarks.
So this is a kind of very useful program for the entire country. This is the inaugural function of Teachers' Role in NEP Implementation, Awareness, Orientation, Challenges and Responses, jointly organized by Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal, Niti Aayog and Mangalore University. So, esteemed Chief Guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tumkur University, and my esteemed friend, Professor Y.S. Siddegowda, who inaugurated this webinar, our Honorable Syndicate Member and the Professor MIT Manipal, Dr. Karunakar Kotegar, who delivered a very impactful discourse on this very important topic, Teachers' Role in NEP Implementation. Professor M. Jayashankar, Director, College Development Council, our Registrar, Sri K. Raju Magavira, members of the faculty, distinguished participants, friends from media, and ladies and gentlemen. I will not actually canteen now. Shortly it will become food court. Outdoor learning centers under the tree. That is a very important thing, because the NEP 2020 says look beyond the four walls. Not only looking beyond the curriculum, also look beyond the four walls, outside place, with the nature, with a free mind, without any inhibitions or restrictions, only recommendations for open learning. So outdoor learning centers will be encouraged. Then look beyond the curriculum. Yes, 14th, collaborative seminars or workshops with the MOUs and collaborations. Then 15th, roundtable panel discussions will happen very frequently. And in the last syndicate, we have already introduced what we call Professorial lecture series. which is being practiced in the US, UK, and we know at least we have got very good professors here, teachers here. They can showcase their not only talents, they can share their experiences or knowledge. Anybody can take part in that evening program, 5 to 6 over a hand-pick buffet or something like that. So that is one thing. 16th, functional adjunct faculty. We are having a big list now. I don't respect that list. I want to make it as functional list. We have constituted a committee to review the position of the adjunct faculty. It should be appointed based on the guidelines of University Grants Commission, but adjunct faculty should be encouraged. Then 17th, experience sharing sessions by the alumni. Every department should encourage the alumni. Whenever they visit the campus, they must be given an opportunity to interact with their juniors, so that there will be hands-on experience and get some horse-mouth delivery, and that will be a powerful endorsement by the alumni. That's 17th one. 18th one, dedicated entrepreneurship development cell. Right now we don't have. We have got training and placement cell, but we don't have a dedicated entrepreneurship development cell. That will be set up soon. Then student teaching practice. It is being practiced very sporadically, but it should be practiced in every program, in every department. Good senior students, teaching the junior student at least once in a week, something like that. It's a best practice, student teaching practice. Then industry sabbaticals for the teacher. We'll discuss in the syndicate. We'll also discuss in the Karnataka State Higher Education Council, and our education minister is very positive towards this. Unless we give some sabbatical, at least for 1 year, for a teacher to go to the company and experience the ground realities and take part in a problem solving live sessions, then there is no point, garbage in, garbage out. Therefore, industry sabbaticals for the teachers. Then 21, public-private partnership model. Whether it's swimming pool or laying a synthetic track or starting a finishing school of 25 crores, something like that, it cannot happen without public-private partnership model. Again, our education minister has given a green signal, but we have to be very careful while getting involved in this kind of partnership process. Then 22, fill up vacant teaching and non-teaching positions as expeditiously as possible. So I am echoing the words of Professor Karunakar Kotegar. Never put the cart before the horse. That's very important. 23, infrastructure. Of course, we have to upgrade physical, human, intellectual and IT infrastructure. Then 24th, incubation centers and innovation clubs. There is one now, one is not enough. We have to have many. Then 25th, everywhere, not only in the classroom, even in the syndicate hall, we encourage 3 things: imagination, creativity and innovation. So it means, he said, 10 o'clock meeting will start, it will go up to 7:30. Even in Tumkur University, it is the same thing. Why? It is the quality of the syndicate body. Thanks to the government, because they have chosen the right people who can create positive synergy and not the negative synergy. That's why there will be meaningful discussions and many things will happen. And we are creating what you call positive tension or creative tension for the purpose of contributing something new. So that should also happen in the departments, in the classrooms, everywhere. So imagination, creativity and innovation. 26, new academic programs and courses based on market inputs and global trends. So it means admission review committee supported by experts from other field like Institution of Eminence or NITK and something like that. They will also come and take part, and they will come out with very, very useful and meaningful new academic programs to be introduced from the next academic year. Then 27, innovative and best practices. Of course, we have to benchmark, but my intention is we have to do anti-benchmarking, because by embracing the best practice or benchmarking it, you can go up to that. You have to overtake your competitor means anti-benchmarking. It means move beyond the benchmarked best practices. But for that purpose, we must understand what is the best practice for us. 28, not casual, mechanical, dry transaction, but heart-to-heart, meaningful and effective interaction. Whether it is the workshop or industry-institutional interaction or in the classroom between the teacher and the taught, it should be genuine. Then 29, assessment and accreditation and ranking. Again, NAC and NIRF, both will be taken more seriously than ever before. And we are also conducting workshops and training programs for all the 207 affiliated colleges, because on 2nd, Karnataka State Higher Education Council has already convened a kind of workshop or meeting of all the Vice Chancellor of Karnataka State. So in that, mainly each Vice Chancellor will have to discuss about the implementation and the progress in respect of NAC and NIRF, all the affiliated colleges and also the university. 30, strategic, focused and outcome based assessment. Should be strategic one, it means long term. It should be focused, it means you should stay focused. Then outcome based, it should not be just output based. The last but one, 31, continuity with change, we are doing it, of course permitting mid-course corrections. Because we cannot entertain rigidity even through implementation, because NEP says implementation in a phased manner. 2030, 2035, certain milestones and other things are there. The last one, of course, to make all these things happen, everybody should have the understanding of the big picture. Otherwise, zigzag puzzle cannot be complete. Therefore, I wish you all the best, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you so much, sir, for those presidential remarks. Extremely to the point and definitely giving the right path for Mangalore University. Well, the roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation, and the words thank you perform magic. They definitely yield returns. Pleasure is mine to request Professor Prashant Nayak, OSD VC Secretariat, to kindly express words of gratitude.
A very good afternoon to everyone. It's my great privilege to propose vote of thanks in this special occasion of the inaugural session of the webinar on teachers' role in a national education policy, implementation, awareness, orientation, challenges and responses, being organized in association with Bharatiya Shikshana Mandala and Niti Ayoga, Government of India. First and foremost, I, on behalf of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, convener of this program, I place on record our heartfelt thanks to the Chief Guest of today's program, Professor Y.S. Siddegowda, Vice Chancellor, Tumkur University, for valuable and time gracing this occasion and motivational speech on new education policy. Thank you, sir. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to give away the memento as a token of respect and gratitude to Professor Siddegowda. Thank you, sir. I, on behalf of the registrar, organizer, and on all behalf of you, I extend sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramania Edapaditaya, for the presidential remarks with action-oriented plans and all the support and encouragement to materialize this program. Definitely, your thoughts are enlightened our minds, shown us a new path. I request the organizer, Professor M. Jayashankar, to hand over the memento as a token of love and respect. And most importantly, the keynote speaker of this webinar, Dr. Karunakar Kotegar, Professor of Computer Science, Manipal University, and also syndicate member, Mangalore University, for his educative and inspirational talk on National Education Policy 2020 implementation in Mangalore University, way forward. Okay, thank you so much for your valuable talk, sir. I request Professor Jayashankar to give over the, Honorable Vice Chancellor to give over the memento as a token of respect and love. Our sincere thanks are to our registrar, who has struggled day and night to make this program a successful one, for all his administrative support and also his administrative team. Thank you, sir, and also your team for making this program a wonderful. I must specially thank Sri Mukul Kanitkar, Sri Mukul Kanitkar, National Organizing Secretary, who gave inspirational speech in the beginning on highlights of National Education Policy 2020. I thank on all behalf of you for a special talk. Okay. I thank all of you for your wonderful support of Engineering Division and MC Dr. Kirti D'Souza and wonderful prayer and one and all for all your support, and we expect your positive support for the future also. Thank you one and all.
So much. May we have Dr. Krishna Prabha please coming and taking a small token from Professor M. Jayashankar for the prayer that she had led. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you so much. Thank you all academicians for giving a vibrant start. Thank you Chief Guest Professor Y. Siddegowda, the President Professor P.S. Yadapaditaya, the keynote speaker Dr. Karunakar Kotegar, respected registrar, all the deans, faculty, everyone, thank you so much.